mean, I can do both. It's not a problem. Yes.
In 3, 2, 1.
All right. Let me. Oops. Okay. What you see is usually not supposed to be there. Just ignore it. Yeah. What is Addams Family? Addams Family is a 2D platformer, and in this game you're supposed to rescue your family members. And there will be some extra bosses like this Wraith. And there are actually 3 extra bosses we're gonna kill. So 8 bosses in total. Usually I'm gonna do it that I first gonna kill every extra boss before I'm gonna move on to the story bosses, if you wanna call it that way. Also, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna collect some items. These items have several advantages. First of all, I have speed juice, which gonna make me faster, and this is what we're gonna do in a speedrun. And also, they are kinda like an insurance, so if you take a hit, then you're not gonna lose a heart instantly, but you gonna lose the items you got. But even if you have more items, then you will lose all of them. That sword is pretty good because we usually can kill enemies while we're jumping on their heads, but with the sword we can kill them from beneath or from the side. So, and we're in one of my probably most hatred levels. Okay, never mind. Because ice levels are usually not speedrunners' friends. Yeah. What else I can you say? Maybe a little story about me and this game. I actually play this game for like 20 years now. When I was a kid, I got a European SNES, and my brother also got me this game. But, however, that game was not the European version, it was the NTSC cartridge. So I actually started to cry because I wanted to play this game, even I didn't know what it's all about. And my brother actually went out to get me an adapter so I could play it, and since that day I still love it, and that's probably the reason why I started to speedrun it. Because it kinda has a special connection for me. So when we're gonna make our way through this level, let me gonna tell you what else this game has. There are actually 2 different categories, all bosses, what you're gonna see in the next 30-40 minutes. And there's also the any person category. Any person is actually around about 10 minutes fast, because there's a clip which allows us to get immediately access to the final area. And that clip was actually found by Gabanzo Guy, who's the current world record holder in this game. And he was also the one who gave me the competition I always wanted for this game. And okay, this is also very tricky boss. Okay, snowman done. And now we have 4 hearts, and we're gonna get our 5th and last heart. And you will see that there are so many different enemies. Like that one we can't actually kill, or we can't jump on his head because we're gonna hurt ourselves. There are also enemies that you never can kill, but most of these enemies you can just jump on their heads. And if you... the game is not related to the movie, or at least not that much that you can say, okay, it's the game is based on the movie. There are some details, some hints, but it's completely independent from the movies, which are also great, and if you haven't seen them, I definitely recommend to watch them. So we're gonna make our way through Conservatory. And just to give you a little teaser for the later one, we will get some lava boosts. So here are the centipedes, and there are actually 3 of them. And you see they're having glowing heads, which means we can't actually jump on their heads. We have to jump on their bodies, which is already done. So the third optional boss is done. I'm gonna use, or better collect these lives just to be sure. And I'm also gonna get some more speed shoes, because the next part might be a bit easier with those. I mean, in general, if you try, or if you get managed to keep these shoes through the entire one, then it's very, very hard, but then you actually save a good amount of time. The same goes for any %. Okay, yeah, never mind. So, we're gonna make our way to the first story boss. There are 5 story bosses, and 4 of them have captured our family members. Gomez's daughter Wednesday, his son Paxley, his brother Faster, and his... I think in this game it's his mother? I'm not sure, in the original series it's always different if the granny is his mother or Motisha's. Anyways, as soon as we rescued them, the final door will open and we can go into the depths to rescue Gomez's lovely wife Motisha, which is basically the end of the run. And in any %, there, like I said, there's a clip which allows us to skip the entire game. And for a very, very long time, there was only one known clip, or at least one clip that we were able to perform on console. And we called it the family skip because, yeah, that skips rescuing the family. But now there are actually 2 of them. So basically they are all now family skips. At this part I have 1 heart, but that's not bad, because this is probably the worst level in this whole game, just this jump. What you basically have to do in this level, you have to fall down, hit a switch, jump up, jump on the other side, fall down again, hit a switch, jump up again, and jump into the exit. And with that death, I was able to hit the switch and don't have to jump up again. And these jumps are very, very weird, because you basically, there's like 1 frame you can stand on the edge, and you can jump off, which I got. That's it looks easier than it is. So Also some things about this game. You see we can collect money here, and every time we get like $25, then we get an extra heart. Or like we fill one of our hearts, and if we get $100, then we get extra life. So there's another item that's called the Phasicopter, and we're gonna use it to get into this secret area here, which I think it saves a little bit of time. Oh, okay, that was close. Alright, and we're gonna go through the flying fish, and we have a donation.
Alright, we have a $1.31 donation come from Anonymous saying, Zeta, I fixed it for you.
God damn it. You can be very, very glad that I'm not able to fix it back again. Alright, approximately this category takes like 35 minutes, runabout, and 80% can be done in like, well, if you are good, then about 4 or 5 minutes. So we are almost at the end. That death was not bad. It's basically the same strategy as in just this jump. I should mention that this game has also some very weird game mechanics. First of all, the hitboxes are very, very weird sometimes. Sometimes it seems like you hitting them from far away and still doesn't get a hit. And sometimes you don't even touch them. So I wouldn't say that this game is well programmed, but sometimes it seems very, very weird. However, there is actually a very good game mechanic, because when you jump, your input show how should I say it? When you press the jump button, then you have two options how you do this. You do it like just short, or you do it like you really press it and hold the button. This is actually very important, because with that way you can do low jumps and high jumps. And at some areas it's safer to do low jumps than high jumps. And in most of the run we're gonna try to do high jumps to get higher. So we just killed the first boss, the goblin. Usually after you kill the boss, there's a little, I wouldn't call it cutscene, but it's like a text box that you can't click away for a few seconds, where the family member says, "Oh, thank you that you rescued me, it just took like 20 hours or so." But if you do the start select, which brings you back to the house, then you can skip it. It's not that big of a time save, but it saves a few frames, and I think this is always good to save some frames, except for Super Metroid. Yes. Alright. So now we're making our way into the library. This is probably the biggest world in the game, because there are actually two parts. This saloon, I guess it's. And after that we having nice adventure in the library. Where we also have a few levels we need to pass. And at the end of that, we have a... Actually, when I was a kid, I liked that. We have a train ride. But this will be... Spoilers ahead. This will be an auto-scroller, so... Well, when I was a kid, I really liked the train, but now it's just... Someone find a skip, please. Alright, no, I wanna jump there. Okay. So, and here's some enemies. I try to play a bit safer here. Alright, the revenue. These knights, when I was a kid, they actually started to annoy me and I was struggling with it. So, and now you will see what I mean with a high jump. A low jump wouldn't save you there, but if you do a high jump there, then you don't take it. Okay. Also one thing I should mention that the move patterns of the enemies are actually very sad, but as soon as you, well, approach their ranges, then they start to move. Which means that the first enemy I gonna see will start to move, but the enemy at the end of the level doesn't move until I see him, which actually helps so we can like memorize where will the enemy be and what he's gonna do, where and how we have to jump. But all this depends on the speed you have. The speed shoes, you can actually collect 2 of them, so you can stack your speed. But if you like have 2 speed shoes, your speed is different, so you have to handle these enemies a little bit different than when you just like have 1 speed shoe. Okay. I always prefer the sword. Yeah, I prefer it. I prefer it to lose it. Okay, come on. So, and in that area, if you would have done the low jump, you would have lost. Alright, we're in the library. And here's some worms, which is actually intended. Okay, now alright. So, and there are actually 3 levels. Oh, that was all. Ah, damn it. So. Okay. Yeah, come on. Okay, thank you. So, actually this thing, I think in the official game law it's called a shield, but for me it looks more like a candy. I mean, I've never seen a shield that glows something like that. And the good thing is, this game is kinda like Mario, but in my opinion better. I'm sorry, I'm just not a Mario fan. Anyways, when you get this the shield, then you actually hear a sound when it starts to disappear, so you can prepare yourself for that. Yeah, I want to have that shoe. Thank you. And especially in this area, it's very... Well, it would be good to keep the sword. Oh, I'm gonna... Whoa. God damn it. Yeah. The reason for that is, like I said, with the sword you can easier kill the enemies. But you can also insta-kill all the bosses. Which is easy to show on the final boss, because I think he's the only boss that actually stands still, at least long enough so you can just pull your sword into him. However, the next boss is actually one of the bosses that is at least somehow easy, because you get a sword pretty right before the fight. And this is the train ride I was talking about. So while we are waiting for the train to arrive at the station, we have to avoid these things here. I'm just gonna take that. That's worth it. Yes. Alright. This fight is actually pretty interesting, because Faster is some like confused or brainwashed, and we have to use him to jump on the witch. And with the sword it would be actually easier, but we should get it. Okay. And again the skip here. Actually the order in where you, oops, that's the wrong one. In where you do the bosses doesn't really matter, as long as you kill every boss, all bosses. But I tend to do like the centipedes first, and then the goblin, then the witch, and then clockwise this upcoming boss, and then the lava area right before the final area. And this area is actually pretty cool, because it has so many levels, but also so many skips. Game intended, but we're gonna use all of them. There are mostly every level has this secret door up. And then we have this toy tower where we can just crawl up. And now we are basically in the final level right before the boss. Okay, I wanna... never mind. Okay. I get it. Okay, I should be fine anyways. So, this is the final boss. And this is, I don't know what it is, but it's a thing that is going to die, I guess. I think it should be accurate when we say it is cancer. I mean the boss. So, and yeah, there was the little scene you saw. And now we're coming to the second last area. And I'm gonna show you a very quick spot. This is actually the only area that you, except for the final area, you see in any percent, because here is where one of the family skips takes part, which is called the furnace clip. You need 2 speed shoes to get the maximum amount of speed, and I can just a quick show you. Basically, if you jump into that wall and while jumping into that wall and facing to the opposite side, you get drawn into the wall, and then you get zipped up and can basically fall into the loading zone of this level again and somehow get warped into the final area, which makes absolutely no sense. And we found this on emulator and thought, okay, this should be somehow possible on console to do it without cheats. And then, like I said, Garbanzo researched a bit and found that clip, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. I was literally crying when he told me that he found the clip. Yes, we will. Not quite yet, but I mean, there is lava, but we don't gonna do it here. I tend to do. Yeah. So I need to be careful. I have only one heart left. Okay. So, and we're also gonna see a very interesting game intended skip here. I'm gonna just take this hit here. Because like in the roof or play tower area, there are many levels you can play, but you don't have to play all of them. So, and there you have your... Well, it was a small one, but you get a bigger one, I promise. I wanna take that heart. Just to be a bit safer. Also, all these enemies in this area you can't really kill. And this is a skip I was talking about. Usually you're supposed to hit that switch and go to that door, but walls don't exist, and from the oven we're in the last oven. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna see at least a little lava boost here. Okay, this was more damage than I would have known. And there. So, and I think this was the last lava boost, but I mean, at least we saw a real one. So I hope you appreciated that. So, you remember the centipedes where we only... Oh, wait. I'm gonna die here because this won't work otherwise. You remember the centipedes where we only could jump on their bodies? Yeah, this is the Drake, and here it works actually the exact other way. We only can jump on his head. But... damn it. But he's already dead. And that's gone. Alright. So, now if we've done everything right, and we did, every 4 family members, plus Lurch and Thing are here, so Lurch finally can play the right song, and we go into this final area, which is... When I was a kid, it was pretty annoying because you have like the background where things are moving, the actual area where you're gonna play, and these chains on the top level. And if you're not used to this game, they can actually really annoy you and distract you. But you can get used to it. And I mean, unfortunately, you have to go through this area in any percent as well. Alright. And walls don't exist. I just love this spot. Alright, and there's a little thing, the money fall. Let's try to get as many money. Ah, damn it. Okay, never mind. It doesn't really matter how much money we get here, because we don't need the money. We should be very good on lives. I mean, we have 20, so I don't expect to die that many times. Especially we have 5 hearts. So, alright. This area, or this final world, is actually very, very brutal. Not because there are so many enemies, but there are more enemies than there are checkpoints. Basically, 0 checkpoints. So, which means, okay, that up. Which means, if I'm gonna die right before the door, then I have to start over that level. Which can be, especially in any percent, very annoying, because you can get a 3rd heart in any percent, but it's faster to do it without that. So basically you only have 2 hearts in any percent, which makes that area way harder to survive. Oh god. Yep. That happened before, trust me. No, I mean these downwards levels are actually not that bad. So, and I also want to mention that the 90% run basically looks like you get the 2 speed shoes, get the sword, and yeah, try to keep them as long as possible. Actually, Gabanzo did a very, very good run at HGDQ where he managed to keep all of his equipment until the boss. And this shows how hard this game is actually, because it doesn't really look that hard, but trust me, when I have so many people who actually tried to play this game and got totally confused by the game mechanics and stuff. So this game is very cool to play casually, very cool to speedrun, but it's not easy. I can trust me. So we are in, I think, the 2nd last level, yeah, to the river. After that we will have kinda like a 2nd auto-scroller, but at least an auto-scroller that we can skip. So I'm gonna do these spike boosts. Well, I mean, spikes hurt and lava hurt. So yeah, this is the gondola, and this is called the gondola skip, where we just, yeah, jump through the water and try to avoid all these deadly enemies. Because if we were just riding the gondola, then it would take too much time. Alright, and now we're in the vault, and we're gonna get these 2 extra hearts and the speed shoe, which gives us basically an extra heart. So we basically have 6 hearts here. And it's time for the final boss. So time will be as soon as the screen fades out. So I'm gonna jump 2 times on the left side and 2 times on the right side. I don't really know. I mean, the game hasn't really a story, and the game is not really related to any of the movies. But I mean, I don't question it. Okay, wait. Time. There. So yeah, I don't really know, but I don't question this game. I just love it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it for me for this evening. Yeah, thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed the Addams Family. And yeah, also shoutouts to Gabanzo, who made this whole competition possible, and to BSG, who made this possible that I could be here. So yeah, thank you very much, and have a good day and night.